Jaya Radha Madhavam Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhavam Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Gopi Jana Bhava Girivardhari
Gopi Jana Bhava Girivardhari
Gopi Jana Bhava Girivardhari
Gopi Jana Bhava Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Brajajana Ranjana
Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana
Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari
Gopi Jana Bhava Girivardhari
Gopi Jana Bhava Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare,
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya
Reading today from Srimad-bhagavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 9, Text 5. The chapter is called The Dynasty of Amsuman.
Сегодня читаем 9-ю песнь Бхагаватам, 9 глава, называется «Потомки Амшумана», текст 5.
So we'll chant the Sanskrit. King Chahang na bhuvang yashe
Kim chaham na bhuvam yasye.
Naramayamrit Jantyagam
Naramaya mrijanchakham.
Rajamitad Agan Kwaham
Mrijamita dakham kvaham.
Rajans Tatra Vichin Yatam
Rajam statra vichintyatam.
King Chaham Nabhavam Yashe
Kim chaham na bhuvam yasye.
Naramayam Rijantyagam
Naramaya mrijanchakham.
Rajamitad Agan Kwaham
Mrijamita dakham kvaham.
Rajan Satra Vichintyayam
Rajam statra vichintyatam.
King Chaham Nabhavam Yashe
Kim chaham na bhuvam yasye.
Naramayam Rijantyagam
Naramaya mrijanchakham.
Rajamitad Agan Kwaham
Mrijamita dakham kvaham.
Rajan Satra Vichintyayam
Rajam statra vichintyatam.
King Chaham Nabhavam Yashe
Naramaya mrijanchakham. Mrijamita daham kvaham. Rajam satra vichintyatam. Kim chaham nabhavam yashe.
Naramayam Rijantyagam Mrijamita Agam Kwaham Rajan Satra Vichintyatam Kim Chaham Nabhavam Yashe Naramayam Rijantyagam Mrijamita Agam Kwaham Rajan Satra Vichintyatam
Kim chaham nabhavam yasye
King Chaham Nabhavam Yashe
Mayam mrijantyagam
Naramaya mrijanchakham.
Rajamitat agham kvaham
Mrijamita Agam Kwaham
Rajam statra vichintyatam
Rajan Satra Vichintyatam
Kim chaham na bhuvam yasye.
Chaham Nabhavam Yashe
Naramaya mrijanchakham.
Ramayam Rijantyagam
Mrijamita dagham kvaham.
Jamita Agam Kwaham
Rajam statra vichintyatam.
Raja Satra Vichintyatam
Kim
Chaham Nabhavam Yashe Ramayam Rijantyagam Mrijamita Agam Kwaham
Rajam satra vichintyatam.
Kim cha,
Kim cha.
also.
Also.
Aham,
Aham.
I.
I.
Na,
Na.
not.
Na.
Bhuvam,
Bhuvam.
to the planet Earth.
To the planet Earth.
Yashe,
Yase.
shall go.
Shall go.
Naraha,
Nara.
the people in general.
The people in general.
Mai,
My.
in me,
In me.
in my water.
In my water.
Amrijanti,
Amrijanti.
cleanse.
Cleanse.
Agam,
Agam.
the reactions of their sinful activity.
The reactions of their sinful activity.
Rajami,
Jami.
I shall wash.
I shall wash.
Tat,
Tat.
that.
That.
Agam,
Agam.
accumulation of sinful reactions.
Accumulation of
Accumulation
sinful
of
reactions.
sinful reactions.
Qua,
Qua.
unto whom,
Unto whom?
aham,
Aham.
I,
I.
Rajan,
Rajan.
O king,
O king.
Tatra,
Tatra.
on this fact,
On this fact.
Vichinyatam,
Chittatam.
please consider carefully and decide.
Please consider carefully.
So this is Mother Ganges. He has been requested to come to Earth to purify the king's forefathers. So she's saying, O king, I do not wish to go down to the planet Earth, for there the people in general will bathe in my water to cleanse themselves of reactions of their sinful deeds. When all these sinful reactions accumulate in me, how shall I become free from them? You must consider this very carefully.
В этом стихе Ганга отвечает царю о своем желании. «О царь, я не хочу нисходить на землю еще и потому, что люди, окунаясь в мои воды, будут смывать с себя последствия своих грехов. Когда эти грехи накопятся во мне, как я смогу от них освободиться? Ты должен серьезно подумать об этом».
Srila Prabhupada's purport.
Комментарий Шрилы Прабхупады.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead says, Sarva dharmang parityaja mamekang sharanang vraja ahang twang sarva papebhyo mokshayishami masuchaha. This is Bhagavad Gita, obviously, verse 1866. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reaction. Do not fear.
Верховный Господь говорит: «Сарвад граман паритяджа мама камшарана враджа, ахам твам сарвапапибхё мокшаешими машучага». Оставь все религии и просто предайся мне. Я избавлю тебя от всех последствий твоих грехов. Не бойся ничего. Бхагавад-гита 18:66.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead can accept the reactions of anyone's sinful deeds and neutralize them, because he is Pavitra, pure, like the sun, which is never contaminated by any worldly infection.
Всевышний может забрать и уничтожить последствия любых грехов, потому что он павитра, чистый, как солнце, которое никогда ничем не оскверняется.
Teji yasham na doshaya vane sarva bhujo yata. From the Srimad-bhagavatam 10th Canto, 33rd chapter, 29th verse. Actually, the actual verse is not quoted there, so I will read that verse is being referred to. This verse being quoted is from the 10th canto, and it's related. It's a chapter on the rasa dance. And so Srila Shukadeva Goswami is saying, the status of powerful controllers is not harmed by any apparently audacious transgression of morality we may see in them, for they are just like fire, which devours everything fed into it and remains unpolluted. This is referring to Lord Krishna, especially.
Это стих из 33 главы, «Танец раса». Сейчас. Шукадева Госвами сказал: могущественные повелители не теряют свое положение, даже если, на наш взгляд, они дерзко нарушают некие нормы нравственности, ибо они подобны огню, который сжигает все, что в него попадает, сам при этом оставаясь чистым.
Okay, so let's just go over the purport and we'll explain.
Продолжаем читать комментарии.
One who is very powerful is not affected by any sinful activity.
Очень могущественный человек не подвержен влиянию греха.
But here we see that Mother Ganges fears being burdened with the sins of the people in general who would bathe in her waters.
Но здесь мы видим, что мать Ганга боялась переполниться грехами людей, которые станут омываться в ее водах.
This indicates that no one but the Supreme Personality of Godhead is able to neutralize the reactions of sinful deeds, whether one's own or those of others.
Это свидетельствует о том, что никто, кроме Верховной Личности Бога, не в силах уничтожить последствия греховных поступков, как своих собственных, так и чужих.
Sometimes the spiritual master, after accepting a disciple, must take charge of that disciple's past sinful activities, and, being overloaded, must sometimes suffer, if not fully, then partially, for the sinful acts of his disciple.
Иногда духовному учителю приходится брать на себя ответственность за прошлые грехи своего ученика и страдать от них, если не полностью, то отчасти.
Every disciple, therefore, must be very careful not to commit sinful activities after initiation.
Поэтому каждый ученик, получивший посвящение, должен тщательно избегать греховных действий.
The poor spiritual master is kind and merciful enough to accept a disciple and partially suffer for that disciple's sinful activities. But Krishna, being merciful to his servant, neutralizes the reactions of sinful deeds for the servant who engages in preaching his glories.
Духовный учитель по своей доброте принимает ученика и частично расплачивается за его грехи. Но Кришна, необычайно милостивый к своему слуге, уничтожает их последствия для тех слуг, которые посвятили себя проповеди славы Господа.
Even Mother Ganges feared the sinful reactions of the people in general and was anxious about how she would counteract the burden of these sins.
Даже мать Ганга боялась последствий людских грехов и беспокоилась о том, как она сможет избавиться от этого бремени. Конец комментария.
Om Ajnana-timirandasya Gnana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. So, this is a very important point in this purport.
Очень важный, итак, очень важный момент здесь, в этом комментарии.
Srila Prabhupada says at the time of the first initiation, the spiritual master accepts the karma, or the sins of the disciple.
Шрила Прабхупада объясняет, что в момент первой инициации духовный учитель, он забирает карму своего ученика.
So we should understand how in what way that is happening.
И интересно понять, как же это происходит.
Actually, at the time of initiation, it's not that because we've had maybe many lifetimes of actions and reactions to deal with, that spiritual master will personally take on all of that at the time of initiation.
Но в течение многих жизней мы совершали различные поступки, и духовный учитель их все забирает в момент первой инициации.
What actually happens is at the time of the initiation, the disciple is promising to the spiritual master that I will basically I will commit to following your instructions, your instructions on behalf of Krishna.
И в момент инициации ученик, он предстает перед духовным учителем и обещает ему, что будет следовать его наставлениям.
So he's just like Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, the verse we just quoted here. Give of all varieties of religion and surrender to me, and I will deliver you from all sinful reactions.
И Кришна вот как раз говорит об этом в Бхагавад-гите, мы читали этот стих: «Оставь все другие виды религии, просто предайся мне, я избавлю тебя от всех последствий твоих греховных поступков».
But we cannot directly surrender to Krishna. We cannot go to Krishna and say, I surrender to you. You tell me what I should be doing.
Мы не можем напрямую предаться Кришне и сказать: Кришна, я тебе предаюсь, скажи, что мне делать.
So we surrender to Krishna by surrendering to the instructions of the spiritual master on how to gradually to surrender to Krishna.
Мы предаемся Кришне, следуя наставлениям своего духовного учителя, и таким образом, следуя этим наставлениям, происходит процесс нашей предачи.
And so we're promising the spiritual master that for the rest of my life, from this point on, I will, of course, I will chant 16 rounds of my beads minimum, and I will not engage in the 4 sinful activities.
И мы обещаем духовному учителю, что до конца своих дней мы будем повторять 16 кругов на четках каждый день и избегать 4 видов греховной деятельности.
And the spiritual master, in reciprocation of that surrender to him, he is offering us, in a sense, to Krishna.
И духовный учитель, он вот, отвечая нам на наше вот это вот обещание, он предлагает нас Кришне.
He's promising, for us, he's promising, if you follow my instructions, I'll guide you so you can go back home, back to Godhead.
И он обещает нам, что, следуя моим наставлениям, я тебе помогу отправиться домой к Богу.
And for Lord Krishna, he's promising that I've committed that with this disciple or these disciples that I've accepted and initiated, I will give them all guidance to learn how to act properly so that they can go back home, back to Godhead.
А Кришне, он, духовный учитель, обещает, что я приложу все усилия, чтобы вести этого ученика к тебе в духовный мир, чтобы он смог вернуться.
So in that process, the sinful reactions that we've had, that we've accumulated for who knows how long, that has kept us entangled in this material world, those sinful reactions are passed up through the parampara, up to Krishna, who of course neutralizes them.
И вот в этот момент все греховные наши реакции, последствия, которые накоплены, они по цепи ученической преемственности идут непосредственно напрямую к Кришне.
And so in that way, at the time of initiation, we have no more past karma.
И таким образом во время инициации на нас больше не воздействует наша прошлая карма.
Of course, we may say, if I have no past karma, why am I still suffering?
И, конечно, если на меня не действует карма прошлого, то почему я страдаю?
And that's also explained in the Srimad-bhagavatam,
Это также объясняется в Шримад-бхагаватам.
that the reason that we are suffering is that Lord, it's not karma exactly, but Lord Krishna is personally, individually with each of us, putting us through certain kinds of trials and tribulations, and some good things too, to help us to change our mentality that got us entangled in the material world in the first place.
И это объясняется таким образом, что на нас не влияет прошлая карма, но Кришна, он создает вот эти всевозможные условия такие, чтобы наша вовлеченность в материальный мир уменьшилась.
But if the disciple, after getting such blessings, again starts to engage in sinful activities, then some reaction also goes to the spiritual master, because he is promised on our behalf to Krishna that he will keep us in line, and we're not acting properly. So he's also getting some kind of reaction.
Но если ученик после инициации начинает совершать греховные поступки, то последствия этих поступков, они также идут на духовного учителя, поскольку духовный учитель, он обещал Кришне, что он будет вести ученика в духовный мир, а ученик будет следовать его наставлениям.
Srila Prabhupada would comment sometimes when he was visibly suffering some illness. He's saying, you know why I'm suffering? It's because of the sinful reactions of my disciples who are not serious.
И Шрила Прабхупада говорил иногда ученикам, что вы знаете, почему я страдаю? Потому что некоторые ученики, они недостаточно серьезны и совершают греховные поступки, и они идут на меня, поэтому я страдаю.
Okay. But another... But this principle does not only apply to the initiating spiritual master.
И этот принцип, он применяется не только к инициирующему духовному учителю.
Anyone who is even if someone may be a shiksha guru for some devotees, if he's accepting service from them of some sort, then and he's accepting to teach them, guide them, then he also may get some reaction if they act improperly.
И также тот, кто дает наставление кому-то другому, как-то о нем заботится, проявляет какую-то заботу, а тот получается, что шикша, этому выступает шикша-гуру для кого-то, а тот, кому он обучает, он совершает греховные поступки, тот шикша-гуру, он также получает последствия в какой-то степени его неправильных поступков.
In Srimad-bhagavatam, 4th canto, in the narration about the King Prithu.
В 4-й песне Сримад-бхагаватам есть история про царя Притху.
It's mentioned that the king, the king, the government leader, he will get taxes. People have to pay taxes to the government.
И там рассказывается о том, что царь, он, это, в принципе, обязанность царя, он собирает налоги с жителей.
And because he's receiving money, taxes from them, he's receiving it, but he also has an obligation, of course, to guide them and to protect them, to guide them, to make sure they're not engaged in sinful activities. That's all part of the requirement for the king.
И поскольку он собирает у них деньги, собирает через налоги, то в свою очередь он имеет перед ними обязательства, то есть он должен их защищать, наставлять, вести их, давать им советы и всячески о них заботиться.
But the king, same principle. If he has so many dependents who are his citizens, if he's not teaching them properly to not engage in sinful activities, and then if they act improperly because he taught them improperly, then he will also get some reaction.
И в таком случае, если он, правитель, не учит правильно своих подданных, что они должны избегать греховных действий и жить правильной жизнью, то он также получает последствия неправильных греховных поступков подданных, которые находятся под его контролем и владением.
So the king, if he can get not full reactions from what the citizens do, but he can get a portion up to Prabhupada says up to 1/6 part. He says.
И царь, он не получает, конечно, полностью все последствия деятельности его подданных, но какую-то часть, и Шрила Прабхупада пишет, что он получает 1/6 последствий их поступков.
And in the same way, if the king, the government leader, is very good and is really properly doing his job, then he can get a lot of very good results, personal, from that.
И таким же образом обратная сторона деятельности. Если они ведут себя правильно, хорошо, то, соответственно, он получает также и благоприятные поступки их деятельности.
We look at the time of Maharaj Parikshit, up until, up to one certain point in his rule, there actually were no sinful activities going on.
И то же самое мы видим с Махараджем Парикшитом, что он действовал, и это продолжалось.
When he found the personality of Kali, well, he was doing something. He was beating a cow in a bowl, but he was beating a cow and he's beating a bull.
Когда он встретил Кали, то Кали он бил этого корову, быка.
But and he was about ready to kill Kali, the personality of Kali.
И он готов был убить Кали.
But Kali surrendered to him and said, "Okay, I surrender to you. Now you have to protect me."
Но представитель Кали, он предался ему, сказал: я предаюсь тебе, мне нужна твоя защита.
And so Maharaj Parikshit agreed. Okay, if you're actually surrendered to me, then I agree. I need to protect you like I protect any citizen.
И Махараджа Парикшит, он сказал: хорошо, я принимаю тебя, если ты предаешься мне, то тогда я тебя принимаю.
But Maharaj Parikshit was very intelligent, so he said, Kali wanted to know, where can I live? You have to give me a place to live.
И Махараджа Парикшит, он был очень разумный, и Кали спросил его: хорошо, если ты меня принимаешь, то где я могу жить?
Maharaj Parikshit told him, you can live anywhere where there's no animal slaughter, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex, prostitution.
И Махараджа Парикшит ему ответил: ты можешь жить где тебе нравится, где угодно, в тех местах, где нет греховной деятельности, то есть где проституция, незаконный секс, азартные игры, интоксикации и мясоедение.
But Kali said in your entire kingdom, which was more than what we know as planet Earth, his entire kingdom, he says there are no such places.
Но Кали он сказал, что ну, таких мест нет, где же мне жить.
So that was a very good king, because he was actually teaching by his example and guiding people so that they would act properly and not engage in sinful activities.
И поскольку этот царь был очень разумный и добрый, то он говорит, что ты можешь жить там, где вот эти вот греховная деятельность происходит.
And the same principle actually is actually just like it says, one should not become a father, a mother, a teacher, a spiritual master, a government leader, anything like that. If you cannot save your people, your dependents from the cycle of birth and death.
И тот же самый принцип применяется в другом стихе, где говорится о том, что человек, он не должен становиться там отцом, учителем, царем, руководителем. Там перечисляется множество различных титулов, если он не может привести своих подданных, точнее, если он не может избавить своих подданных от цикла рождения и смерти.
And basically, that means if someone has, let's say, someone has children, then they need to teach those children to be religious.
И в основном это означает, к примеру, если в семейной семье, если у человека есть дети, то естественно, что следуя этому стиху, человек должен учить его религиозности, их религиозности.
If you're a teacher in school, I mean, this doesn't really happen in modern times, but if you have students, or children, if they're young, who you're guiding, you have to try to make sure that they are acting in a proper way, so that they also do not engage in some sinful activities.
Так же самое, если человек учит кого-то, ну, детей каких-то или каких-то студентов, вот, то он так же само должен учить их тому, чтобы они не действовали, не были заняты в греховной деятельности, и сам должен подавать пример такой же.
Of course, this simply doesn't happen in modern times, but this is the principle.
И, конечно, это не происходит в современном мире, но это принцип такой.
Back in I don't remember the year, maybe 1968 or so, there was a Supreme Court ruling that the students actually couldn't talk about God, you couldn't pray to God, you couldn't do anything related to God if you're in school, public schools.
И где-то, я не помню точно, в каком году, где-то, может, в 67-м, было такое правило, что детям в общественных школах запрещалось говорить о Боге, молиться Богу и как-то так или иначе упоминать Бога.
When I was young, I started the school, maybe how old? We were 6 years old in those days, until maybe 8 or 10 years later. There actually was, it wasn't a religious school, but it was a part of the school morning program. It's part of the first thing you did when you went to the classroom, you prayed. There was a prayer, and everyone did it.
Everyone pray before this
It was
forbidden rule?
Yeah, it was a Christian prayer, the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. It's a Christian prayer, but every day it was recited, in the first classroom that you were at in your school. That's how it was done at that time.
Мгм. Ну, и, в общем, в то время в школе перед уроками у них был такой какой-то, типа, ну, какой-то промежуток времени, когда молились Богу.
But after some point, I think I was just I was about 14 or 15 years old by that time. They stopped that practice in the school.
То есть когда Дхарма Прабху начал ходить в школу, еще когда ему там лет 6-7 было, то вот там была такая практика, что перед уроками ученики, они совместно молились Богу. А когда уже ему было лет 14-15 Дхарме Прабху, то ввели вот это правило и остановили вот эти молитвы Богу, запретили.
And they stopped that practice because there had been a court case that went all the way to the United States Supreme Court, where it was actually ruled that the students could not be asked to pray or even talk about God in the school.
И вот они ввели тогда это правило, что ученики, школьники, студенты, они не должны были молиться Богу.
And the reason that they said that who took this thing to court was an atheist. She was an atheist.
What was the reason?
She was okay. The lady, her son, complained because her son was also an atheist. So in some level of school, I don't remember don't know exactly when. The son complained to the mother, I don't believe in God. You taught me not to believe in God. So now, but in school, they tell us that we have to pray to God. So she got upset and she took it to court to try to get that stopped.
Ну, то есть ввели вот это вот правило, потому что начало развиваться вот этот атеизм, и ввели вот это правило, что чтобы дети никак там, в общем, не молились Богу, не упоминали о нем, в общем.
So it went all the way up to the highest court in the country, and in the ruling affected all public schools.
И это правило ввели вообще во всех общественных школах.
Is the class going too long?
No,
okay. Anyway, the end result of all that, which is my observation, was as soon as they stopped that prayer in school and the mentioning God in school, it was like sending a message to all the students. Oh, our teachers, our parents, our country, they think God is not important. So therefore, it affected the students, and the students started things started going downhill in the schools as far as more and more sinful activities going on.
И мое личное наблюдение, которое я в скорости заметил после того, когда перестали вот эти вот, когда отменили эти молитвы, что постепенно, так как люди перестали так обращаться к Богу и на первое место выдвигали там родителей, школу, правительство, что вот они более важные, они более первостепенные, а Бога забывали, то постепенно начало все так сказать, деградировать, и все больше и больше было греховных поступков совершалось.
In any case, the principle related to our verse here is that if we want to become free from these sinful tendencies, with the time of initiation, we promised the spiritual master we were going to follow this, and we will, and then we can become free from our sinful reactions, and we can progress in spiritual life.
И вот как в этом стихе сегодня говорилось, что обещая духовному учителю не совершать греховные поступки, это является для нас таким как стимулом быть более внимательными, и, соответственно, мы тогда более быстрее прогрессируем в духовной жизни.
Are there any questions, comments?
Какие-то вопросы, может, комментарии?
So many things can be said, but
Yes.
how am I going to say this? See, the thing is, because of this freedom of speech, hedonism, so many things entered, and people, the whole society, although it is started like a Christian missionaries coming and converting people, and then doing so many things very nicely going on. But when this freedom of speech, or the freedom given to the people that you can practice whatever you want, that is an advantage even for Prabhupada to come here and then preach Krishna consciousness. It became advantage for becoming devotees. Although they could have become deities, they can do whatever they want in their life, but they chose to become Hare Krishnas.
Yes.
But actually, if you see, that is a problem becoming, and Islam is entering in UK, in France, in Sweden, in Norway, in Germany. It's like rampage, and now the United States is like Texas specifically is like attack. There's so much. So as you said, because when you lose that pristine, whatever, the culture was there, at least in the schools, and that's also, it's downhill. So somewhat it happens even among devotees, even in the Hare Krishna movement. Like yesterday, whatever you were speaking about the prasadam and all, you can, I know, I heard from my spiritual master saying that devotees even could not were afraid to take water from a karmi. What to speak of from if a person who is not a devotee, even they used to never touch that water even. They were practicing so rigid that water, it will contaminate my consciousness. So that much rigid. Even if you see to go to the South Indian Brahmins, they are also like that mostly. They're so rigid, they don't even take, as you said, that Mata Sumati Maharaji carried it. And there are so many stories of kings, of Jaipur kings, they used to take, this much big silver, still it is there in the Jaipur palace, this much big pot filled with Ganga water.
Yes.
And he carried that in the ship all the way to UK, United Kingdom, because he got an invitation from Victoria, Queen Victoria, to come to UK. And he carried that big pot, like that there are 5-6 pots for the whole month. He will drink with that, he will drink that Ganges water, he will bathe, he will do everything with that water. Because he knew that it's a Malaysia land. I mean, the land where people eat cows and buffaloes.
Yeah.
So the thing is, over a period of time, culture became this one, and now so-called people, Brahmins, they come all the way to United States and became like more or less more than what, more sinful than what these people are. When you see, more sinful. I spoke to some, they come from Chennai, they come from some Orthodox. They belong to Orthodox Brahmin family. They're gone.
Yes.
Even within devotees community also it is happening like that. They were following so rigidly, but because we didn't establish Devi Varnashram communities, the Varnashram which will hold, obviously the kids will study in the materialistic schools, and they will never wear tilak, they will never wear shikha, they will never wear kantimala. They will do whatever they want to do. They will eat whatever they want to eat. They might chant Hare Krishna also. So obviously the sins goes to the spiritual master. obviously it's the whole thing. So because it's multifold, where we can start and where we can put. So that's where the main point problem is not because Prabhupada established so many farms so that people can come stay, not to mix with these hellish cities. But because the leaders were unable to, they fall down and then couldn't pick up with that. So that's why, some of them, or even Karmis, they're thinking organic farming. They're doing in their own gardens. In Los Angeles, I know there is one guy who produces in his own garden. So my point is that what I was trying to tell is, unless and until people has to go to leave these cities and go to the farms and then establish farms, as Prabhupada said, uh, this will go on. So what do you think? Is it because in the city it's very difficult. You'll be you'll be thwarted by the waves of whatever.
So there's so much contamination around us. So, but we have the Buddha protect us. We chant. Srila just says you chant your rounds every day attentively. You follow the four regular principles. You stay in association of devotees.
But where are the devotees?
Huh?
Where are the devotees?
You know it.
No, the point is, no, it's not that. Yeah, we are devotees. We are trying to practice, but the point in practicing is becoming. Practice should be done in Sattva Guna platform. Then when we miss that Sattva Guna, then automatically Rajasic and Tamasic. Of course, we are practicing, we are doing it, but
you have to have some desire.
Yeah.
You have the desire to become Krishna conscious. There's always association of it. Where if there's no temple nearby,
obviously,
and then you got the internet, but you got the whole world. You can attend Mongol Arti. You can have 30 different temples every morning.
Yes.
So if we have desire and we follow the basic principles that Srila Prabhupada gave us, then we can become Krishna conscious. Kali Yuga is going to get worse and worse and worse. But still, there will be devotees there up until some devotees up until the very end, because we have to be some devotees to start the next Satya Yuga. When Kali Yuga is over. So nothing can stop us from becoming Krishna conscious if we want to.
Okay. Thank you.
This point of Ganges she's worried, She comes from the lotus feet of the Lord. She's worried that she may incur sins. And we see a similar wavelength in the lines of our acharyas, like Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur. He used to say that, he said, I read it, I don't remember the source at present, but he said that grains that are taken from these Marwaris, Gujaratis, the business community, the Vaishyas. So, grains that are given by the Vaishya communities, Vaishyas. So, he said that we should we should try and avoid accepting grains from them, from Marwaris and Gujaratis. They are the business community in India, because they are too attached to that. So we see similarly, Mother Ganges also, our acharyas also are following her. So this person at present is going on missing, So, like how we can come to that level where we can, think the way Mother Ganges or Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur is thinking, that nowhere they are leaving any loophole for Maya to enter.
I didn't hear that. How can we what?
Means how we can go to that stage where, like Mother Saraswati, Mother Ganges, or like Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati, thinking to that level that even grains we should not be taken from people who are attached. Like the Marwaris and Gujaratis, they like to donate. They are also, we see.
It's not practical. But at least we can, if we
No,
get.
I'm not saying we should be. But
But
that
we
level is
we should not, they give us grains and we cook those grains, but if they're preparing grains and they're cooking and they're in materialistic mentality, then yes, of course, we should not be eating it. If they're just giving raw rice, raw dal, those things that we use in the Krishna service, then I mean that's used to vairagya,
no, means he was saying to that level that because they are from business community, this Marwaris, Gujarati, especially
Yeah.
in India. They are businessmen. Yeah, so they are very attached to whatever even they are giving, they are in the mode of, they are giving in a ritualistic way. Not that they want to please the Lord. Most of the times it is like that. Here also you can see in the West that they will donate anything like that. Means they will donate like anything. But the point is, he was setting such a higher example that he said that we can take construction material from them, but not grains. And I'm not saying that we can go to that level, but I'm saying that how we can go to that level, that where we are not ready to accept any materialistic thing from anybody.
Well, only if we have established a lot of, um, as far as food grains, only if we establish a lot of the devotee farms and we can grow our own, uh, you know, produce everything ourselves. So we're definitely not there yet.
Yeah.
But that's one way.
Yeah, that's what.
And then Srila Prabhupada wanted that more and more those farm communities. It's not so much as it was. I think Srila Prabhupada wanted. That's one way.
Like the milk we are having, it's like, the cows are tortured and the calves are killed
Yeah,
immediately.
that's right. So if you have a farm
Yeah.
or there's a farm nearby and you can get milk, then that's better. It's definitely better.
So Prabhupada emphasized on farm.
Yeah, he did. He-
Nowadays in India, many temples are taking the land and they're cultivating and then getting the produce for the temple. At least some stages. Miami is a good place actually, with the weather that we
Yeah.
have.
If some nobody's wanted to establish a farm in the homestead area, which is not that far from here, a lot of land. Then,
Tropical climate.
yeah,
Because I see every tree, here there is mango is there, pulmo,
Jackfruit.
jackfruit,
you
so
can,
many trees are growing.
you can grow things all year long here.
Everything is growing here.
Yeah.
Very good land.
So some devotees wanted to establish a farm in this area, then that would be very good. We have devotee farms here and there, but not in this area. We even had our temple was in another location. We actually had that.
Yeah.
We had that. Things got changed around again. But what we did, we had some land. We grew all our own flowers. We didn't buy flowers outside at that time. We grew some of our own spices. We grew certain, cauliflower and broccoli, and we even had a bunch of bees, like beehives. We had our own honey, and we had some sugar cane too. So we cooked down. We should cook down the juiced it and cooked it down, and we used that for some of our cooking. Yeah, and we had 50 mango trees. 50. Some of the mangoes were this big. Yeah, it was one tree. It was like they're huge. And 10 avocado trees also. Yeah, plus so we had those things. Anyways, it was somebody changed their mind, had another idea, and they came and they moved us to a different location. But this was something we had at the time, and the idea was gradually. And I mentioned the cows. We had 5 cows at the time, so a lot of our milk that we're making milk sweets with was made from our own cow's milk. So that was the idea. But anyway, things got done. So we don't have it right now, but maybe if some of us who are inclined into farming could get some land in the homestead area or somewhere out there, so a lot of open land, and have cows and grow things, then we can, we can provide more for the some of the temples nearby. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, my son is in this farm community, Kurumugram. So there they go cashews. Cashews are very costly in India, and here also they are.
Here also, they're very expensive.
But they in their daily cooking they use cashews for making gravy.
Huh.
Yeah, and mangoes they just go through his stone and get fresh ripened mangoes. Offer they're eating. That place itself, the children are enjoying like anything.
They have more than 20 to 30 mango trees.
Mhm.
They have everything, flowers, this, that, nothing to worry. Okay, some spices here and there.
Yes, so we should have that. We should have many farm communities, Krishna conscious farm communities. We should. Um, but I can't say too much because I'm not in a farm community. I'm here with our deities.
Yeah.
But we should have it. Yes.
There is one more thing I want to just tell them. If in the United States, if the farm communities are not started, the problem is already Bill Gates. Bill Gates.
Yeah.
He owns more than 3 lakh hectares of land. 3 lakh hectares. He himself owns. And what they produce, they produce for Monsanto and all these chemical companies, and what is going on all over all these Walmarts and all these things comes from those farms which these people monopolize to produce bell pepper. Everything comes from there. I mean, whatever produce, even grains. So everything is chemicalized. I mean, so future devotees have to eat those all things. So those devotees who are serious, want to get cancer and all these things, want to get out of this, better, instead of starting a temple, better to start, purchase a big land, grow your own food and eat. At least those devotees who are staying in their own homes, produce some broccoli, produce some veggies, produce some things, something for your family, 2-3 broccolis every day, 2-3 cabbage every day, and then eat that one. Purchasing from, at least in West, in India it is more rampage. Probably it is worst to purchase vegetables outside. It's like fully chemical, genetic.
Actually, there is one in Shimla. Still, they are producing organic.
Yeah,
And,
some organic is there.
Recently, Trump wanted to enter into the agriculture sector in India, but Modi is opposing that because they will be these GNCs and all this. This is a total spoiler. You are eating whatever, maybe brinjal or anything. It's just waste. One day in India we are purchased from brinjal, and rope-like thing was there in that. We have made Vengan and ropes. What is this? This is all. And these brains will also not work. People, if they are eating all these chemical things with chemicals.
Specifically, they want to attack the population. Why this COVID, all these things, Bill Gates, they attacked the population because they want to give the shots. Why? I will not speak all these things because this is to attack the population. They don't want people to grow. This whole thing is a cynical understanding. Bill Gates, Elon Musk, these are demons of the Kali Yuga.
You're telling the whole world. Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm in United States. I'm speaking about the against it. I've been reported.
Okay. I think that's the end there. We're in today.